sound?
I look at that totally different.
Nobody asked.
Well, it's my job to talk.
Hello everyone, hope y'all are good. Listen to this. This episode really had the crew breaking everything down track by track off Drake's ICEMAN. And what's crazy is how different everyone's reactions were depending on the song. But when I first went through the project, I already had that feeling about who was going to gravitate toward what. Like some tracks were just screaming, this is an Atlanta record from the jump. That one energy is straight up club ready, no debate. Once that beat drops and flips, especially when Future slides in and does his thing, you already know it's going to hit differently in the clubs. And even though I'm not even really a club type person like that, you can still instantly hear how loud that record is built to be. This was the full crew on the episode too, no Flip, no Muna, so the dynamic was already interesting from the start. And I'm not gonna lie, when Flip tweeting his Starbucks order while 3 albums were dropping at once, I actually laughed because it already told me he was probably not surviving that listening session. At the same time, I was kind of worried for Ish too because that is a lot of music to sit through before taping anything like a full breakdown. But getting back to the conversation, they were on the exact same wave I was thinking about. Like what if Drake actually dropped 3 projects at once to fulfill some kind of label obligation situation from back in the YMCMB days? That thought hit me immediately too when I saw the rollout, because it just felt unusual even for someone like him. And honestly, it starts making more sense once you really sit with a track like Make Them Pay, which is easily one of the standout moments on ICEMAN in my opinion. I grew up around music heavy, so the sample on that record caught my attention instantly, like I couldn't ignore it even if I tried. Drake was floating between rapping and singing in a really emotional way on that track, almost like he was speaking straight from the soul when he said things like wanting freedom and space from everything around him. And when you hear that, it's hard not to start thinking about labels, contracts, and just overall creative control in the industry. That record really stuck with me for that reason alone. But hold up, one of the biggest moments in the episode was when Joe started breaking down Drake's diss on Make Them Remember, and he kind of framed it like Drake might actually be looking out in a strategic way rather than just attacking people randomly. I can see where he's coming from, I really can, but at the same time, I was leaning more toward the rest of the room's reaction just based on their faces and body language at that moment, because the energy they had while listening was very much, yeah, I don't know about that one, like they weren't fully sold on that interpretation at all.
That's exactly the kind of energy it was giving them. I told him straight up, however you cope. And listen, sidebar, Freeze has really been speaking his mind a lot lately. He just doesn't care, period. When Joe broke down his thoughts behind the diss and how the track could have ended right after that duckin' Drake line, Freeze jumped in saying, nah, open that laptop, let the song finish. And honestly, he's been on a roll for a week straight with moments like that. You just have to catch them when they happen. But bringing it back to Joe for a second, Joe's main point was basically him trying to tell Drake it's time to mature a little, trying to give him a different angle, etc, etc, etc. And Joe genuinely feels like he deserves an apology, because if we're keeping it real, just ride with me on this. If we're being honest, Drake used that downtime after the battle to really reflect. He sat by himself and realized the hard way, in real time, that a lot of these people were never truly his friends. We can't pretend that almost everyone who got a Drake feature didn't see their career explode. At one point, he was the guy everyone wanted on their records to take them to the next level. And when people in the same industry you thought were friends start treating you like nothing during a battle, that's gotta hurt. Rick Ross's behavior alone in all of this is wild to me, but it just proves these industry people are exactly that. Industry people. You're lucky if you walk away in Hollywood with even one real friend, and Drake clearly learned that lesson in real time and poured it into this album. Now with all that said, do you think Drake owes Joe some kind of apology, or did Make Them Remember already cover it? They also talked about Made to Honor, and honestly, I was surprised most of the room liked that album. I'm actually on the side of liking it too. If you've been around here, you know I always say my music taste is pretty eclectic, and that's exactly why I enjoyed Made to Honor. On that opening track, Garden Tool Face, and honestly, I just don't like that he named the whole song that. Listen sir, I actually really like this track, so yeah, it definitely could have had a better name. But anyway, I don't know if y'all caught that Fergie, Fergalicious, and Crystal Waters Gypsy Woman sample flip, but when that beat dropped, oh my goodness. Ladies, whatever your hips feel like doing, just let them do their thing. Just release it. Just let it rock out. Let it rock out. That album is basically hip-hop blended with house, club energy, and a touch of dancehall. It hits in the car, in the gym, and even on a rooftop. It's moving. That album is going everywhere. Just give it some time.
Watch what it does in the summertime. 3 or 4 Face, Road Trip, Amazing Shape, BBW, and High Five are some of the ones I enjoyed from that project. Stuck gives off a strong early 90s vibe. I messed with it. Habibi, or however you pronounce it, has that smooth R&B feel, and honestly, I enjoyed it. And so did the fellas apparently. Safe to say, everyone's favorite is Classic.
When I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, this is the one, this is the one. Talk about versatility, man. A lot of the beats on that Habibi album sound like something straight out of your 90s R&B favorites. You can literally hear Avant on some of these records. You can even hear Joe on a few of these beats. My ear instantly went, oh, I can hear Joe on this. Like Joe the singer, not that other Joe, you know what I mean. Now, Joe said something that I was kind of already thinking to myself. He said, Beta, we brought you up here thinking you were gonna actually have something to say. I'm paraphrasing it a little bit. Yeah, I kind of felt that same way too. Don't get me wrong, he did voice his opinions, but I was really expecting that Pod 1 and Pod 2 Beta energy, that earlier breakdown style he used to bring in his first pods. I don't know, maybe I sound a little extra, but that's genuinely how I felt watching the episode. And then boom, they actually brought it up on the pod. So yeah, I can definitely see them circling back next week with even more thoughts. This was a lot of music to sit with and really break down before they even hit record on the pod. Some of these records you really got to hear outside in real life. I even ran them in the car last night, windows down, wind in my face, and yeah, it felt right. So what songs do you have on repeat right now? Which album are you really rocking with the most? Or are you still undecided? Or do you just need more time with the music? Or are you completely off it? Ladies, go ahead and put on Maid of Honor for your workout session. If you're on a walking pad or a treadmill, set that incline to whatever you can handle. Walking speed around 2.8 or 3 if your body allows it. Trust me on this, pun fully intended. I actually like that the guys gave credit where it was due on these albums. I thought they kept it pretty honest across the board. Overall, this was a solid pod in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. Honestly, I'm rocking with all 3 albums. There's really something in there for everybody. ICEMAN didn't really have any skips for me, not gonna lie. But when we got to Little Birdie, I was like, either Drake's been hanging with Kodak or he's been down in Fort Lauderdale or Jacksonville, Florida. Somebody get that man some wicks because it was straight up giving that Floridian vibe. Thanks for reading. Make sure to subscribe to my channel.